what we're going to find out here is how to calculate the area of a rectangle. Now, the area of a rectangle is easily calculated by taking the length of the rectangle and multiplying it by the width. That's really all you have to do, and it gives you the area. For a little bit more in-depth look at what area actually is, area is measured in square units, square inches or square feet or square miles, square centimeters, anything like that. And what they mean by square units is they actually want to take a measurement. Like for instance, this measurement here is 14.5 inches. I'm going to write 14.5 inches here. And on most of the problems that you're given, you'll already know the length of the width. You won't have to measure it. And here, this is 7 inches. What people used to do when they wanted to figure out how many square units could actually fit inside of something, they'd actually say, well, here's one square, and here's another square, and here's another square, and they actually used to put all the squares in. They'd measure it like one by one. Well, here's the first inch, here's the second inch, here's the third inch, etc., etc., until they got 14.5 across, and then they actually put in all the different squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they'd see that they have so many squares that fit inside here, and then they'd count them all up. Well, people got tired of doing that. It takes a long time. So instead, people finally figured out, if there's so many squares in this row, and there's this many rows, let's just multiply. So all you have to do is multiply the length by the width. So in my case, area equals length times the width. Or you can say length times the width, because length and width, it doesn't really matter which one you say is the length and which one's the width. This could be the length, or this could be the width. It's your choice. But that means the other one is whatever you didn't pick. So 14.5 inches times 7 inches. When we multiply them together, we should get, let's see, 7 times 5, that's 35, 7 times 4 is 28. Oh, goodness. Head. 35, 7 times 4 is 28 plus 3, 111.5. And the unit is not inches anymore. Since it was inches times inches, it's now inches squared. Okay? That's the answer. The area of this rectangle is 111.5 inches squared. You could fit 111 and a half of those little tiny 1 inch by 1 inch boxes. 111.5 of these guys in there. Looking at the second problem. Now, the difference between this problem and that problem, you were given the measurements here, or I gave them to you anyway. The second problem, I gave you one of the measurements. I gave you either the length or the width, and I gave you the area. So now you kind of like know the answer. Now you're going backwards. So your formula is area equals length times width. I don't really care what you consider this to be. For now, I'll consider this to be my length, and I want the width. You can do it the other way if you want. I'm going to take the numbers I know and put them in the formula. It says A equals, area equals. I know what that is. So instead of writing A, I'm going to write what A is. I'm going to substitute it in and write 35 feet squared equals length times width. I know the length is 5 feet times the width. Now the width I don't know, so I'm going to leave it as W. You guys know how to solve equations like this for the most part. You're multiplying the width by 5 feet. So to solve for the width, do the opposite. Divide by 5 feet. And divide by 5 feet. The 5 feet will cancel out on the right. The only thing that's left on the right is the W, the width. The left side, 35 feet squared divided by 5 feet, is going to give you 7. And feet squared divided by feet moves you back to regular feet. The width is 7 feet. If you wanted to check your answer, you could write 7 feet in here and double check. Length times width. 7 feet times 5 feet. Is that 35? It is. It is 35 feet squared. So that's how you know the width is 7 feet. These are really the only two types of problems I'm going to give you with rectangles. That's how you get the area of a rectangle, and that's how you get the length or width of a rectangle when you know the area. Alright? If this helps, I hope this helps rather, and I'll see you around.